The concept of leadership is key for growth and success within any organization. Mountain State University's leadership programs can give you tools that will help you secure and advance your career. Join us now for a roundtable discussion with Dean William White, Associate Dean Ruth Wiley, and Associate Dean Frank Hitt of the School of Leadership and Professional Development at Mountain State University.
It's something that people need to do if organizations are going to continue to succeed. We're going to have to build leaders. We have to build leaders. If you talk to anyone in society today, one of the first things they'll say is wrong with our organizations is a lack of leadership. We're somewhere in between the humanities and we're arts and sciences and business, and there's some sociology going on here. There's some psychology going on here. There's a lot of different things. We just don't fit in any of the established traditional schools. We're not in competition with these other master's degrees, whether it's in management, whether it's in master's of business administration. We're different. We are different. We are a leadership degree. We are about vision. We are about leading people. We're not about bottom line. I mean, bottom line comes as a result of what we do, but it's not the target.
When you look at leadership, first of all, we have to expand beyond the business realm, because it's not just leading within a business. Many of the people that have come through our program and many of the people that are involved in leadership have nothing to do with a particular industry of, say, manufacturing or a service industry or retail industry. We're looking at it being much broader. And whether this is leadership within a church, leadership within the military, within a police organization, within a hospital, just multitudes of different nonprofit organizations, community organizations, leadership within a community itself. And of course, there's political leadership and so on. But the idea is that whenever you have a group of people, you have an organization. And whenever you have an organization, if the leader or the leadership, the multiple individuals within that organization have the appropriate tools, the knowledge of how to lead this group, that organization will be more effective.
As our approach is to look at what leaders do and how leaders accomplish results in any kind of an organization. And I think one of the real beauties, and I'm sure some of you can share stories, that when you get people who are from law enforcement in a class interacting with people who are in also a nonprofit or a governmental entity, but of a different type, they start generating more creative conversations about how can we accomplish what we want. They begin to recognize that the challenges that they're facing are not unique to them. You have the opportunity to put these ideas to work right away.
And that's key.
While it's learning a set of tools and skills, it's also very much about understanding yourself and how to be authentic as a leader, because no one person is going to have exactly the same situation or exactly the same approach. And so part of what we focus on in the program is giving people opportunities through self-assessments, through discussions and reflections, growing. It's as if their faculty member is their mentor and coach.
The first day when we got back with the students come in and said, "Share what happened to you for the week." This woman was she was glowing. She was just so excited. She says, "You know what?" She says, "I knew from the first day I came in here that I was going to learn a lot of things, but I didn't know that the first week I was going to apply what I learned." The first week, she went back. She said, had she not studied what she did that week, she would not have taken the approach that she did to solve a student's problem. And that's powerful. We are specialists working with adult learners. That's us. We pride ourselves. We're good at that.
That leadership cannot possibly be so simple that we give you a book, tell you to read it 4 times, and tell you, now go do that.
Right.
It can't be. The idea is we have to give you, and I like the word tools, we try to give people as many tools as possible, and then give them the ability and a chance to use it in a classroom so that they're proficient at using these tools once they get out of a classroom or simultaneously. The individuals that are coming to us have been out of a classroom for a number of years. They do learn in a different way.
The student plays a big role in how they structure their time to accomplish it. But rather than leaving it totally open-ended, as many online programs are, which are totally asynchronous, meaning everybody works individually, or making it an independent study where you have X number of months to complete something, we've created some instructor pacing. So we, again, create enough structure to keep people motivated and engaged, but then leave flexibility in that also to accommodate the needs of the adult learners and those people who have families and lives and jobs that may, for law enforcement, require them to be on a stakeout or a chase or something that, I can't work on this class tonight. So that gives them that flexibility. There is very strong evidence that leadership development occurs and must be done over a long period of time. That it is not something, because of the tools and the adapting and the authenticity, that you can go to a class that's an 8-hour or maybe 3 classes that are 2 hours each and learn many tricks, tips, ideas, hints, and you may go back and apply one of those. But then when you get back to your organization and your organization, you don't know how to influence others in the organization to buy into that same piece, then you get discouraged and you drop it.
Absolutely.
But in our programs, and I think the thing I feel most strongly about as far as the leader development and the faculty serving as coaches is the fact that we begin from the very start of the program building that kind of connection between the faculty and the students and they're all, many of those are very experienced professionals. And so they are building a network that will serve them not only in support through the program, but building a network that 3 years down the road, I now in law enforcement and I need to do a community affairs project and I remember somebody else who worked with or who had done something in a class and I can call them up and now I've got resources. Now I have resources all over the country. And so it truly is learning how to operate and function as a leader, because building those networks is important for leadership. And as Dr. White referenced, every class is built around central concepts and skills that you practice over and over, and truly activities are designed to get you to integrate those ideas throughout the program.
Our professors are ranked. I mean, just like at any other university. We have assistant professors, we have associate professors, we have full professors. But we don't see our professors as professors. They facilitate learning. We don't think that everybody needs the same information, and we don't think that everybody is going to learn at the same pace. And so as a facilitator, they also become a coach. And through that example that Dr. Wiley just gave a few minutes ago, where you go into the organization, you have this wonderful new theory that you've tried, that you've learned in your studies, and you go back to the organization you tried and you fall flat on your face. Guess what happens? You go back into your cohort, you talk to your facilitator and your cohort members, they become your consultants. Now, we always talk about teaming, but in most organizations, we don't give people an opportunity to do it. Or if we do it, we still award them based upon individual performance. So there's no real incentive for them to be a part of a team or to work. And so part of this modeling of teamwork is very, very important. We get phone calls all the time. They do now. And they'll say, such and such is not performing as a team. They're not doing their share.
They're not contributing.
They're not contributing.
I can't ever get them to contribute.
And you know what we tell them? Or we tell their facilitator, ask them what would they do if they were on their job.